Hey, welcome to Credit Makes Sense with Netiva, the Frugal CrediTnista, where we talk about your money, your credit, and everything in between. Super excited to bring this prosperity partner question to you today. We are talking about debt. And for those of you who don't know me, I own M&H Financial Services, where we help women and couples over 30 to create custom credit solutions so that they can crush their financial goals. I also run the epic free Facebook community, Credit Makes Sense, where we teach you or provide tools on how you can repair, restore, rebuild, and transform those credit scores. And I own Credit on Fire Academy, a super dope bomb.com members club. We work with you on mastering your money, destroying your debt, and soaring your credit scores. Let's get to today's question. As usual, I like to read them verbatim. I need help to make an informed decision. I'm a single parent, sole provider, supporter of my daughter and myself. My daughter attends a private grading school on a full academic scholarship. In December 2016, my daughter attempted suicide on campus. Oh my gosh, we went through a year of counseling and her scholarship was restored. That's a blessing. Fast forward 2 years later, I'm still dealing with the financial fall of that event. My debt is approximately $80,000. I want to file Chapter 13, but I would have to give up all of my credit cards and the restrictions. I'm leaning towards consumer debt relief. I really need sound financial advice for someone who isn't looking to make a buck and who has compassion for me as a single parent who's done good up until this point. Please help. Well, I'm glad that everything is doing well. That's a blessing. Continue to pour into your daughter and make sure that she is emotionally supported and stable and all of that good stuff. So I'm hoping counseling hasn't stopped and you guys are pursuing that on an ongoing basis to make sure that you are supporting her and getting on point. Number two, $80,000 is a lot. Came from. Uh, I'm wondering why you want to do chapter 13 verses 7. So I'm thinking maybe there's a house or something involved that you want to protect. So you can get back with me on that. Because usually chapter 13s are 35 years of paying on time. So if that's the case and you are protecting an asset and you want to rock out with the chapter 13, I would go for it. Debt relief programs have different definitions. So I don't know which one you're referring to. Some of them is like a consolidation loan. Your scores generally have to be about 640 plus, and it's where they combine all the loans and you just have one loan to pay. So it's not like eliminating any debt, so to speak. Another debt relief some are referring to with the Consumer Credit Counseling Company is like a debt management program where they close all of your cards anyway, and you are just paying on them at a reduced rate, reduced interest rate, reduced amount, all that good stuff. So that's a DMP, debt management plan. And then there's a debt settlement company where they don't pay it for a while. Your credit card companies are like, oh crap, she's not going to pay us and we're going to have this debt that we're not going to be able to collect on. And then they say, okay, let's settle it. So that's like a debt settlement plan. So I don't know which one you're referring to. However, in most cases, those cars would need to go. And I tell anybody, whether they're $20,000 in debt and feeling overwhelmed, 80,000 or like me over $500,000, is to really think about why you want those credit cards. What is the safety of having them? If it's the fact that you're still using them as an extension of your income, they need to go anyway. They need to be cut up. The number one thing that you need to do when looking to get out of debt is stop creating new debt, and it should be no more charging. And I don't really know what type of debts you have that encompass that $80,000. Is it the student loans? Is it all credit cards? Like, what is it? Because you have to know when you're filing Chapter 13 or looking to make any type of settlement arrangement with a debt relief company, what can be included in that. For instance, for myself, student loans and my IRS tax debt were not included, so I knew I had to make those arrangements separately and to get rid of that consumer debt that wasn't doing anything but weighing me down. Particularly medical collections is what was doing it for me. And I don't know if these are medical expenses as well, which you may be able to get some type of forgiveness for depending on your income. So there could be a variety of things. I would really think about what consumer debt relief is and what it means for you, because if you're thinking about the debt management plan that I just explained, those cards are gone anyway. The difference between the debt management plan and the Chapter 13 is that you have protection on the Chapter 13, like the automatic stay, where they can't pursue more aggressive collection activities against you. They can't sue you. And then when you're discharged, they can never come after you again. So the protection under bankruptcy is what makes it so appealing to so many people, because after that 3 or 5 year plan, whichever one you decide to get on, where you are making those month-to-month payments, you are able to completely be free from them after that and really have your fresh start. That discharge injunction is like bae. And I actually teach a whole class on rebuilding after bankruptcy using that protection, simply how to get your credit and your budgeting and all of that good stuff back on track and make sure that you're never in the financial position like this again. In your case, you're like me. It's something traumatic that happened that just really F things up. You want to be real? I don't know another way to say it. I mean, just F the, it's hit the fan basically for you. And you're at $80,000 now wondering what to do. And I was in exactly your shoes. And I just said, what can I get rid of right now permanently so that I can tackle the things that won't be included in the bankruptcy? The last thing I'll be worried about is some doggone credit cards closing, honey. They need to go anyway. I cut them credit cards up so quick. I didn't even want to see another credit card. It took a lot for me, even as somebody who was educating others in credit to pursue home ownership as a realtor, full-time realtor, to even get back into the credit game. I actually paused and got back into managing. I can't even say got back, but started just really becoming more frugal, becoming more mindful of the financial resources flowing into my household, becoming more intentional about where every dollar in my household was going, making sure that I put enough money up for the uh-ohs and when ish hit the fans. I mean, there's only so much you can plan for when something like this with you happens and when cancer, as with myself, happens. I mean, you can't, it's not like you're expecting something like that to happen. So there's only so much planning that can happen. However, it revealed rather, some holes in my money management that existed that were revealed when this happened, like how much I did not have my ish together. In your case, credit cards got to go. Whether you do DMP, the debt relief with the consumer counseling company, whether you do a Chapter 13, they got to go anyway. Good thing is credit is forgiving. It can totally be rebuilt. The 3 to 5 years that you happen to be in a Chapter 13, I like that it's a time frame with the Chapter 13. You're going to be paying on the debts. They're going to be discharged and go to $0. Those high balances are going to be reduced to whatever amount is agreed to with your bankruptcy trustee. So all that is going to be on point if you decide to do Chapter 13. There's just more protection with that. And in that 3 years that you're paying stuff down, you're actually, I won't say rebuilding your credit, but you're not doing any further damage to it. But you will have the bankruptcy public record on there. But you can bounce back for that. I mean, I did. I done purchased homes, investment properties, run businesses, like boom. Don't let that stigma affect you at all if this is something that you need to do in order to get your fresh start and get back on point. The only negative I can say about the debt relief program is that those with the high balances, usually it's not the best for them. I'll just leave it at that. It's not the best move. It does have its perks and has its benefits, but typically my clients with like the higher levels of debts, they don't really benefit as much for someone with like $10,000, $5,000, $20,000 worth of debt and a decent income. See what I'm saying? So I would think twice about it. I would meet up with both a bankruptcy attorney as well as a consumer credit counseling. I personally like ClearPoint, Money Management International. There's one more. I like 3. I can't think of the last one, but go to a local one. Go sit down. They work with you on budgets for free. I used to work for one. And we got the most amazing resources that I absolutely miss. And, you know, the systems that we worked on were great for budgeting and making financial decisions. Don't let them pressure you into doing anything. I don't care if you're talking to the attorney or you're talking to the consumer credit counseling company. Their job is to counsel you and make you feel like this is the right decision. I don't want you to bring anything when you go in there. Your job is to get information, go home, process, make the best decision for you. Again, the only thing I can say about consumer debt relief is that, as far as the debt management plan, is that it doesn't have the same protection as a Chapter 13. So they can make a deal with you, change your mind, charge it off, send it to a collection agency. They can do any of that because there's no legalities surrounding that arrangement. It's just something that, you know, this is what we're going to agree to do, but it doesn't prevent them from making a next negative move, suing you even. So that's what I would say about that. But I'm glad that you and daughter are doing well. I'm glad she was able to get her credit, her scholarship rather, restored. That is definitely a blessing. You said 2016, so it's been 2 years, almost in December, that you guys have overcome this. And so you have my continued prayers. And hopefully this answered your question. I'll make sure to leave a link below to a blog post that I wrote, and I also have a checklist to it of what you should consider when thinking about filing for bankruptcy. In your case, I will go for the Chapter 13 solely because it has more protection that you may need moving forward. But yeah, girl, cut them credit cards up. Do it now. You ain't got to wait for bankruptcy. Just cut. Close them up. That is my advice to you. you have questions for our next Credit Makes Sense segment, you can definitely send them to the email address below, social@mnhfinancialservices.com, social@mnhfinancialservices.com. Our dollar trial, dollar holla, is still going on for my amazing Credit on Fire Academy. And if you are definitely looking to master your money, destroy your debt, and soar your credit scores, definitely rock out me. $1 for your trial will give you just an overwhelming amount of assistance and tips and instructions on how to begin just slaying and crushing your financial goals. So see you next time. Chat soon. Bye-bye.